We are following this developing story this morning. Jason Tatum will have an MRI today to see exactly what the injury is that took him out of last night's Game 4 semifinal loss in New York. Falling to the court, non-contact, lower right leg injury. Left with about 3 minutes remaining. Jalen Brown saying, quote, "I've got no words right now."
Basketball analyst Alan Hahn joins us this morning on SportsCenter after being at the Garden till midnight last night, or I guess this morning. Jalen Brunson said postgame that it's not the time to celebrate after Tatum's injury. You feel the same way. What was the first thing that actually went through your mind when you saw Jason Tatum go down last night?
Yeah, that was when you had a feeling that this game was over and now maybe the series could be headed in the direction that no one expected it to go. You know, you got to understand there was 3 minutes to go when the injury happened. On the turnover, the Knicks score on a dunk in transition. They make it a 9-point lead. Anybody that thinks with 3 minutes to go, a 9-point lead was still locked up, that was a dagger kind of play, is mistaken, because Jason Tatum was having a game for the ages, 42 points. What he was able to do shooting the three, 9 threes. I saw him hit 3 out of 4 threes in the last 90 seconds of the first quarter. And then all of a sudden a 12-0 run. The Celtics took a big lead at the end of the first. So that game was far from over. But now with that injury, the way it looks, now we don't know yet, but we certainly will find out today. But you could hear it in the voices of the Celtic players and Joe Mazzulla, their head coach. There was major concern for Jason Tatum. And now, of course, there'll be big concern in Boston about whether or not they can get out of this series.
Yeah, certainly. Now that series does shift back to Boston, TD Garden, Game 5, Wednesday night. Going to show you how all things went down. On standby real quick as we enter now Game 4. And you mentioned Jason Tatum and the 42 points, and he was on his way, had the Celtics pulled out this win, to having that be sort of his pinnacle game this season. Instead, Jalen Brunson and this second half Knicks team. It's been a story all postseason long. After halftime, they're a completely changed team. They've been down double digits in each of these games against the Celtics. And then JB in the third quarter had 18 points, 3 assists, 7 for 11 from the field. OG Anunoby getting in on the action, waning seconds of the third quarter. Starbury fired up. I mean, it was a who's who of who was at the Garden. Steph, Timothy Chalamet, Alan Hahn, 88, 85, going into the fourth, and that's when Brunson crossed up Al Horford. 109-104 is the lead now for the Knicks. They were down 14 to the Celtics earlier in the first half. Part of an 11-0 Knicks run. MSG faithful loving it. Sound up. $39 points for Jalen Brunson, who's about to be handed the keys to the city the way this guy has been playing. 40 minutes, 12 assists. Knicks win 121-113 to win Game 4. They're up 3-1, as promised. Back with Alan. You cover the Knicks for a living. What are we seeing from Jalen Brunson this series?
What he did was back up the words that he spoke after Game 3 when he was really disappointed with the Knicks' performance in that game. And he said they needed more urgency, more intensity, and to play with more force. He brought all 3 of those elements to that third quarter with an 18-point performance that flipped the game and finally got the arena, like the Garden, back on their side, because we have seen in the East and really all around the playoffs in the second round, the road teams have dominated. The home teams have struggled in their own building, and the Knicks in that first half were going through a little bit of the same. But he decided, I'm going to take this, so I'm taking over like great players do. I'm getting the crowd into it, I'm getting my team into it, and I'm doing it by being aggressive. And that's exactly what he was. I mean, that shot rattling in the place, the roof almost blew off. I think all the trains stopped in Penn Station underneath because of all the shaking that was going on in that building. But he has been this player in the playoffs for the Knicks. He has been phenomenal. His teammates fed off of it, and they got themselves a huge win to take command of this series.
And because of that, New York now 1 win away from their first conference finals appearance in 25 years. Alan Hahn making his debut, the most of any player in that span. He did miss 10 games in the regular season for Boston, and if there's any sort of silver lining here, the Celtics were 8-2 in those 10 games that he missed. As we welcome in now Jay Williams joining the program. J-Dub, good to see you. When you saw that happen to Jason Tatum, what was the first thing that went through your mind?
Devastation, man. Now, this is sheer speculation here because none of the reports have been confirmed. Obviously, the MRI happening today, but As a player who's played in over thousands of games and have been around thousands of athletes, when you see movement like that, and everybody keeps talking about his ankle, he's holding the back of his Achilles. That's what he's holding. And when you have that, you feel a pop, something doesn't feel right. Once again, this is speculation on my part, but having seen a lot of these injuries, having had this happen to me when I was 22 years old, that's what it looks like. And it's incredibly unfortunate that at that time of the game where you felt like this is a guy who leads this franchise in 50-point performances, franchise playoff history. Think about that. With down 7, 3 minutes left to go, having a 40-plus performance, you felt like something historical or monumental could occur, a great finish to a great game. And it's just horrible that we have an ending to the game in that magnitude.
Yeah, 42 points, and now the Celtics, as they say, sort of have to reset, recalibrate to try to keep their season alive. Game 5, Wednesday night, as the series now shifts back to TD Garden. Jay Will breaking it down in the Eastern Conference goings on. Randy, what you got in the Western Conference?
I got another series. It's now 3-1. Timberwolves right at home in the Bay Area. Ooh. No Steph Curry, still out with a hamstring, but sort of a Steph Curry maneuver from Anthony Edwards. Little pregame, hit half court, hit him with the night-night.
Homage.
Calling your shot, night-night style? All right, up 5 is Golden State, final seconds, first half. That was from, where did he hit that? Alameda? I mean, Sausalito?
Dude, your geography is sick. Everybody knows that.
I've been out there a few times. Edwards, 6 of 11 from distance. Wolves down just 2 going into the break. Chris Finch said that was actually huge to cut into the deficit, make it closer at the break. In the third quarter, Ant went off, beginning of a massive frame for him, working on his 13th 30-point playoff game. Jimmy Butler only had 14 points. Draymond Green said postgame, Butler just wasn't feeling well all day. Feeling it was Ant. That's another 3 in Butler's face. 16 points in the third quarter alone for Ant-Man. 2 of his easier ones there. Nobody guarding him. Timberwolves going on a 17-0 run. Their longest this postseason. Dante DiVincenzo fighting Julius Randle. Julius Randle had a playoff career high in this one, his first career 30-point playoff game. J-Mac. Defense.
Too easy.
Suspect. Wolves up by 18 in the fourth. Randle, you'll float too. We all float down here.
Just a couple Randalls.
Game.
Big things on SportsCenter.
Game high 31. 117-110. Minnesota's up 3-1. Here's Ant, what he told the guys pregame.
I told him we only got 2 wins. I've never seen a series end 2-1. So I told him, we got to get 2 more wins. And right now we playing like we already got 4 wins. Like we playing like they're going to lay down. And knowing this team, knowing their head coach, they're never going to lay down. So we had to figure it out, man, because if we would have kept playing like that, we would have lost tonight.
They did not lose. We're back with Jay Williams, and they didn't lose due in no small part to what Anthony Edwards did. Jay Will, at some point in this postseason, Chris Finch is called out as superstar, and it's safe to say that Anthony Edwards has responded. How do you put into context what this young man is doing?
I mean, 23 years old, about to go to back-to-back Western Conference Finals, is the guy that wants all the smoke all the time. And it doesn't matter if you're LeBron James, Luka, or if you're Jimmy Butler. Just think about, he went against the best defense in the NBA since Golden State made the trade for Jimmy Butler. They are incredible defensively, and he answered the bell in the third quarter. That's where he really turned up. So I think we're watching one of the most brilliant faces and games in the game of basketball right now, perform at the highest level. But Randy, I do have to say this. Yeah. In a Game 5 scenario, how the hell does Jimmy Butler only take 9 shots? And I know that we're talking about not feeling well, but we've heard incredible players in the game of basketball not feel well in big moments. Michael Jordan flu game, not saying Jimmy Butler's on that Michael Jordan level, but the way he competes, there's no way in hell you can have your best player take 9 shots in a Game 5 at home when it's a must-win scenario.
14 points. It's the third game of these playoffs where Jimmy Butler's been held under 15. And meanwhile, his partner in crime, right, Steph Curry, still out with a hamstring injury. He told our Mark J. Spears late Monday night he does not expect to play in Game 5 on Wednesday in Minnesota, with Golden State's season on the line.
What's your favorite team? Comment below, and if you liked the video, please leave a like. This really helps the channel grow and brings you even more content. Oh, and if you're not subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? Click the subscribe button and activate the bell to receive all notifications. With each game, we notice that the NBA is getting more competitive every day, and all the teams are looking for reinforcements to win the championship. And only here can you follow your favorite team daily with incredible content from different sources. Here on the channel, there are new videos every day with analysis, curiosities, and the best moments in basketball. That's it for today, folks. Thanks for following along. The NBA doesn't stop, and neither do we. Until the next video. NBA, the passion that connects us.